Hey, as got here, and it's time to talk about Fairy Tail. And this episode was quite fun. We have the comeback here from our main group, and it turned very kinky, especially with the Erza Kiria shenanigans there. But the main important thing in this episode was very focused on Touka and what exactly she is, and this white mage that we have here. So let's get into the episode and talk about it. Now, it picks up from last week. We had the last scene with Jelal confronting Touka about this white magic and turning the world white back into nothingness, which is gonna be the key motivation here that that we have from apparently the main villain moving forward, but also revealing that he knows a lot more than pretty much everybody else that is in the series so far. White magic, we know that he's able to steal magic. Merkphobia also got his magic stolen, but a lot more have had this happen to them, and some even actually can die. And apparently it's with this guild connected rebellious guild. But what happened before Jelal could actually grab her, I don't really think he could have been able to do anything. It's kind of funny. Now, Laxas steps in to protect Touka. She's part of the guild, and I like Laxas how he is right now, having that moment from him, because if you guys, I do hope a lot of people have watched the original series. Please tell me you didn't jump in straight into this season and you didn't watch the original series, because you're gonna miss so many character moments, relationship, plots, connections, everything. But how Laxas was when we first met him, how he improved throughout even the original series, and having him here, that moment just brought a lot of memories back for me. But it was funny. He stepped in to protect Touka, but after the episode put that scene into a different perspective and context, I think he kind of saved Jelal there instead of saving Touka. For being honest, like, they get into it, they almost fight there, but Jelal decides to step back and just observe her. And we're gonna touch more a bit on Touka and Jelal. But after this, we have the Dragon Eaters deciding to go after this white mage, and we see the kinky. Wouldn't be Fairy Tail if we didn't have scenes like this. I know a lot of people, maybe they're bothered by it or so, but I honestly don't care. Fan service is fan service, doesn't bother me. We have Erza being held on a leash by Kiria. She was still under the strength cutting thing, which we get revealed what exactly it is this episode here. And Erza was very submissive there, and the camera angles, damn, the camera angles, Fairy Tail never change. But we also see Natsu and Wendy being prisoners, still sick from motion sickness. I do still have my one hope, like I said even previous videos, at some point there has to be a cure for this motion sickness. Please give me that. We have, like last episode, they were pretty much defeated here, captured, and then Lucy was on this rowboat going after them with Charles and Happy, but somebody else shows up, and I kind of missed her, and it's been great having her. Brandish shows up with a small Grey. She just tosses him like a miniature Grey. Brandish was such a fun character and very hot character, if I do say so myself. But thanks to her, we get a bit of aftermath after the original series, the war with Alvarez, what happened there. Spriggan 12 got disbanded. Argel is the king now, trying to rebuild everything there. Majority of them mellow down, except like two of them who are in prison there. So Alvarez is kind of on the up and up. I do hope we get to see more of them in the future. I kind of liked some of their powers, their characters, and Brandish, I'm glad she's showing up more and more, and probably gonna have a bigger connection with Lucy, because they're friends and rivals at the same time, even teasing her about looking for Aquarius's key. There was such an emotional moment back when Lucy did that sacrifice and Aquarius. I do hope they're gonna focus on that after this, of course, and both of them looking for the key. And I like how Brandish sees Lucy, but also helps her at the same time. Great character and great dynamic between them here. And now Lucy knows about the Aquarius key being somewhere there, so she has at least a lead to follow here. But yeah, then we have back on the Dragon Eater ships, Erza is back to her old self. She recovers, but having her honor, she decides not to attack her owner. She was being kept on a leash while Kiria was sleeping. She rips it open, but says, "I'm not gonna attack somebody sleeping here." And she reveals that that strength cutting is a form of hypnosis through the eyes. And this is why I'm saying you miss a lot of things if you haven't watched the original series. Now, thanks to that, Erza is able to cut in half that effectiveness of eye magic because she has a fake eye. Remember her history, losing an eye, having one replaced for her here. So a lot of people are not gonna know that history if you never watched the original series, which I highly recommend there. But it goes to freeze Natsu and Wendy. They still have to deal with motion sickness. Please, somebody give me a cure for motion sickness here. And Brandish, being Brandish, says she's not gonna help, but she steps in and helps them, makes a rock under the sea there, or ocean, whatever, big, and lifts up the Dragon Eater ships and stops it, allows Natsu and Wendy to move. And here is where we have the comeback. Erza wanting her sweet revenge for the humiliation she got from Kiria. We have Natsu versus Scallion. Again, Ash magic versus fire magic doesn't really work that well for Natsu, and Wendy has a better chance of facing Scallion together with Natsu, and they actually managed to damage him here. But here, back after while they started fighting, meanwhile at the guild, I'm liking this. Everybody was teasing Laxus that he bullied Touka, when in fact he stepped in to save her. But what I'm liking, ever since the start, we saw those small moments of Touka having the smirk, the looks in the eyes, and Gajiel was catching them. But here, this episode kind of explained what exactly they were here, and even Laxus confronts her, hey, I know everybody has some secrets, but if you're gonna endanger the guild, we need to get some answers here, which is very honest. You're entitled to your secrets, but when those secrets affect everybody else, you're gonna have to be honest, or at least explain some things. She doesn't want to do it, at least now. She decides to go home, but we're gonna get back into that. First, let's focus a bit on the fight. We have Erza versus Kiria. Kiria definitely knows how to step on Erza's button, push her buttons. They're teasing her about her loved one, making her think about Jalal. I do hope we're gonna have a Jalal Erza reunion at some point here. But the main part here, we have while they're fighting, Kiria is able to cut Erza's sword, but she kind of gets a lightsaber after, thanks to Wendy's enhancements. So probably next episode we're gonna see the conclusion to the fight. We all knew they're gonna get beaten up here. It's typical fairy tale. They get down, then they get back up, which is part of why I love the series. But after this, the last part of the episode was probably the most interesting part, because we have Touka going to visit Jalal, and she's actually felt very different here. She bluntly admits she's the white mage here, saying she wants to return the world to nothingness, and she focused on fairy tale because they have so much condensed powerful magic in one place, which she sees as danger. She's kind of against magic at the same time while using magic here. A bit ironic, but also sees magic as dangerous. Now, Jalal wanting to stop her, he almost gets his magic stolen, which is why that first scene is in a much different context right now. Laxus actually saved him, because if he was able to take her away, like go alone or nobody stepped in, he probably would have died there or got his magic stolen. So now that we look back at the start of the episode, he got saved, not Touka. But before his magic could be stolen, Touka stops and telling him to run, like her she changed instantly, struggling a bit, and it's very obvious. You can quickly reveal even before Jalal said it, there are two personalities apparently. There's Touka, the cutesy girl that we saw joining the guild, being fawning over Natsu and so on. Then there's also the white mage, which is a different personality here. And then they stop her, Gajel steps in, restrains her, and she faints, which makes things a lot more interesting. And this is why Gajel always saw those smirks, those different escapes from the normal Touka, so to say. Yeah, I'm really curious. I knew some of the things here, but I haven't read much ahead of the stories in the manga and so on. So a lot of the things I'm also gonna discover with you guys, and I'm so happy Fairy Tail is back. Then we we have to end out the episode, typical Natsu fashion. Natsu versus Mad Mole. The armor is very strong from Mad Mole, but what about heat? He goes into overheater and burns Mad Mole, finally winning against him there. But yeah, I'm very excited for next week here. I'm liking this white mage concept, kind of like a anti-Zeref in a way there. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the episode and the camera angles with Erza. What was your favorite moment, and what do you think so far of the series? Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Fairy Tail and camera angles. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.